Hey Aquarius, welcome back to Deku Tarot. Welcome to your April 2020 reading. Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Do be sure to check out the monthly videos for your other placements, especially your rising sign, okay? I find that my rising sign often resonates even more than my sun sign and my moon sign. So check that out, guys. And stick around at the end. I have some big announcements. I'm taking 20% off of all readings right now. All my info and booking is always right below in my description box. I'm also going to tell you guys about Truly Divine and their incredible astrology charts, compatibility charts, numerology, and how you can get discounts on that, okay? You can also share those and use them as many times as you want. It's also in my description box below. And I'll bring up a giveaway, okay? So do make sure to subscribe, guys, if you haven't. Do make sure to share the video if you enjoyed it and if you haven't. I do appreciate it, and I appreciate and love all of you for all of your support. So thank you. Let's get into April 2020 with the Wildwood Tarot for y'all. Let's see what's going on. We are living through strange times indeed, I'm aware. And it's really a lot of change as we move more towards or more into the age of Aquarius, which everyone's always like, oh, it's going to be in a few years, it's going to be in a few years. I have to be honest, I feel that we're in the entrance to it right now with all the things that are going on and this distorted view or the distorted ways that humanity is acting towards each other and the need for a more global humanitarian cause coming together to beat something all together needs to be focused on. And I'm really hoping that we see all this coronavirus energy shift more towards that Aquarian vibe of let's all work on this collectively together, because we're all humans. Doesn't matter where it came from, doesn't matter where it's going, we all need to help each other out right now and see past differences, problems, towards a more unified cause and look. So let's look at how you guys are feeling as we enter April from March. Okay, I knew this card was coming out. I knew this card was coming out. You have the King of Bows reverse, which is the adder. When I get the King of Bows reverse, I mean, it's kind of, I believe the bows are, yeah, bows are wands in this and arrows are swords in this. I have to get used to that. Sometimes I get the little messed up and then later on I'm like, this doesn't feel right. So King of Rods here, King of Bows. I'm going to hold them up right just so you can see the card a little better because the illustrations are beautiful. But when the King of Bows is reversed, I feel a lot of harshness, anger, frustration, a lack of ability to take accountability, to take responsibility for something and to hold something together with your authority. It's like you can't seem, you want power, but you can't seem to get it right. There's a lot of stern energy here, a lot of intense energy here. But I have to say, when you get the King of Rods reversed, it just feels that there's a lot of intense energy here. And also frustration, it feels like in terms of unyielding judgments towards yourself. So let's see how this comes in there. We're going to look at the King of Bows a little bit deeper throughout the reading here, because this is your energy right now. And then we get the Great Bear. And the Great Bear is actually the Judgment card in this deck, which is really interesting because it talks about, you know, after you have, you know, been stripped and laid bare, after everything has kind of changed, really shifted, it really talks about, you know, only thing that life has assured you is that if you wait long enough at this point, things will change. It's supposed to be, you know, somebody laying in there dead, waiting to be reborn, waiting for the rebirth here. As, you know, the Great Bear, this polar bear is the protector. Things, you know, the wills of justice and right and wrong and all the normal things aren't really real with this card once you get to this point. But the important thing to remember about what it's saying to you is that, you know, there is a major element in this process of judging yourself and judging others, okay? It really talks to you about how do you survive the change that you're going through, and who you are after it really is up to you. And again, there's a lot going on here where it might be that, this could be regarding assessment of a personal matter, a situation, a decision here. And in this process of judgment, both as an individual and on your more universal level, there's a bigger, more honest point of it that needs to be the honesty crux. Oh my god, I can't English right now. Honesty is the crux of this situation here. So it talks about being honest, being forgiving, being patient, but be assured that change is really at hand here. Okay, nothing. And it also gives you this chance, like judgment always does, to look back at your past and what you did then. Nothing is truly forgotten. Nothing is left behind totally. It always builds you up into who you are. So look at your past experiences and what has kind of brought you here. This is the moment of change, and I think it has a lot to do with where you feel powerless, where you feel you are grasping at straws for success, for power. Okay? And I feel that there's a growing awareness and a shift within you that something here needs to change. Because maybe, I don't know, when I get the King of Rods reversed, I have to be honest, it feels very negatively sexual. And I don't know why that's coming up for me in the middle of this reading here, but it's a negative type of sexuality. Something that, I don't know, I don't know how to put this into words. It's like needing power there, needing some type of, needing somebody or something else to build up your confidence, and you're acting like you're confident, this, that, the other thing, but really this is kind of driving you down, if anything, whatever it is that you're doing right now. And I'm feeling this really chaotic energy from you of really wanting something and wanting this thing to work out, but you can't make it happen, if that makes sense. Sometimes certain things can't be made to happen. So let's continue on here. Aquarius, I've been feeling a lot of pain with you guys. It's really this deep internalized pain. There's an emptiness there, and I've been feeling it for the past few months. There's a real sense of emptiness to you, and I don't know why. It's not totally, it's just something is missing. Some element feels off. I might actually have to get the book for some of these cards because this deck is very different. But I do think that this is actually the High Priestess that just came out. But let's see. And what is your energy this month? Okay. Interesting. Yeah, you guys have been going through a lot, and it's still coming up here. Let's be honest here. The Seer is your theme of the month, but it's reversed. You might be acting like you don't know what's going on, like you can't, like you're not noticing these changes, you're not noticing the disharmony, the unhappiness, and you don't want to notice the change that's coming in. There is this really superficial, that's what I was getting in the King of Bows reversed, and now I see it. Okay, there's a superficial quality here. There's a superficiality in terms of, more physical passion, more physicality. How do I appear to others? I want to look hot. I want to be attractive. I want to be this. I want to be that. But when you take physicality and you divorce it from the emotion and you divorce it from passion, what really is it? Nothing. It's literally nothing. It doesn't bring you happiness. It doesn't bring you respect. It doesn't bring you joy. So if you're looking for these things, and this has a lot to do with relationship, love, if you've been looking for a partner, look at what it is you're doing and how you're portraying yourself. Are you focusing only on your physical attributes rather than, the more emotional ones, the things that you need to be paid attention to at this time? Because major change is coming in, and it has you really shifting about, again, who you are on the other side of this. You need to really look at this judgment energy here that is coming, that you're starting the month off. And I'm going to say this is probably more of a, I'm going to keep this here with the Seer actually and say that this is more of a theme energy for this whole month here, is that you're going through a major change here, and you have to be willing to look at it. You have to be willing to open up your eyes and pay attention and really write things down and take responsibility for your actions at this time. the world is changing, your life is changing, and you've sat long enough at this point of no, I don't know, just like a chaotic mess. Again, this more physicality, more physical focus, and it's not going to work out any longer than it has. It's like, nope, now is the time to change. And maybe it has something to do with the fact, again, with all this coronavirus stuff, people are isolated, they're not seeing each other, they're not doing much of socializing, interacting, being physical with each other. And once you take that out, you're really looking at, oh my God, emotionally and spiritually, I am dry. I have nothing right now. And some of you are going to be noticing that some major changes need to be coming through here. And again, that's not going to be the same case for all of you. For a lot of you, it could be that you are feeling an intense lack of control, and major changes, again, just in general, need to be made in your life here. And you really do have to look at your role in this, because you do have the answers. When the seer is showing up, you know, the high priestess says, you know, you have this energy of love, of relatedness, of the secret mysteries within you. And the high priestess shows up, your higher self is showing up to tell you something. But when it is reversed, you're not listening. You're like, they could be knocking on the door trying to show you this, that, the other thing, and you could be saying, gosh, where are my messages? Where is my direction? I've been asking for it, but you're ignoring it. And it's like, it's just pointing you in one direction, and you don't want to see it that way, so you won't. So you have to start, I don't know why I've been getting this really stubborn energy. It's like you guys really don't want to let something go. You don't want to be proven a failure, I'm getting for some of you. Your energy this month, Ace of Bows, Page of Vessels reversed. There's a real fantasy type. When the Page of Vessels is showing up and he's reversed, he's very, how do I describe it? Unstable. He's unstable. And with the Ace of Wands reversed, it's you don't have the energy. You're driving your energy in the wrong directions. It's like, what are you doing? You know, like, what are you doing here? This isn't working out if you're going to act this way. You can't be driving your energy into the ground or driving it towards the wrong things. Wherever you're taking your energy, it's not going in a new direction. It's not going where you want it to go, because you guys are driving it into the ground. Look at how much better this arrow would be if you took it out of the ground and stopped letting it set fire to the wood. If you took it out and you started to shoot it, it would take you in a new direction. It would light up this new pathway for you. It would show you the way. But instead, you're driving your passion and the messages that are coming in, your true feelings, your true desires into the ground. For this more, I don't know, it's like whatever you're doing it's really not healthy for you. I'm going to be honest, and you guys need to hear that. And I feel like I've been saying that for months. Whatever lifestyle you are living right now is not healthy, Aquarius, and something needs to be done, because you are extremely unstable right now, and you do not have the energy that you should. It's just, there's a lot of corruption and decadence here, and this, again, this spiritual impoverishment about this whole reading so far. So if you don't resonate with this as an Aquarius, don't think I'm coming at you. It's just not for you. I don't hate Aquarians. I love them. I have quite a few Aquarians in my life. So there's really nothing, like, I don't have beef with Aquarius. I don't think I've ever, I have dated an Aquarius, but I don't have any problems with them, and I'm fine now. So if you're thinking, oh, she's got beef against them and this stuff, like, it's not. I don't know whose energy I've been picking up on the past few months, but Aquarius, it's very unstable, and the fact that you refuse to change it and see it, it's going to really hurt you if you don't start coming to grips with reality. Because you might think that you can live life this amazing way and be this famous person and be this, you know, because you see, and Aquarians are very, like Pisceans, very dreamy. I mean, you guys are on a different wavelength with that, and sometimes I find that Aquarians are the type of people who think they're going to be stars, and they think they're going to be singers and musicians and artists and models and all this stuff. And if that's the case here, I have to be honest with you, you have to wake up and smell the coffee and get some reality here. Have a reality check. And if you have one friend that's known for giving you the reality check, it's time to contact them and stop contacting the ones that tell you what you want to hear, okay? Because a reality check would be helpful at this time, okay? Let's see how this month plays out. Yep. Are we surprised to see any? Oh my gosh, guys. There's a lot of jealousy behind this. And I'm not saying that because a card just came out that is jealousy. But the whole backing behind this is you're jealous at somebody else's power and you'd love to be that person, doing what they're doing, looking the way they're looking, making the money that they're making, having a bunch of fans. For some of you, it's like you really see yourself in this person's position doing that stuff, but you can't be jealous and covet somebody else's position. You cannot covet what is not yours. You have to be your own true self throughout this and find the path that's right for you. Yeah, that might look amazing, it might look really fun, it might seem incredible to be a famous musician, or to be a YouTube star, or to be an Instagram hoe, or whatever. And I mean, no offense to that, I'm not trying to like call people out for that, but I mean, it's a crazy thing right now, and I don't want to get into that in this video, but everybody wants to be famous, and at some point you have to realize you might not meant to be that, and there might be a much better role for you out in the world that involves, you know, what are you really bringing to the world with what you're doing right now? Ask yourself that as an Aquarius, and I think you'll really start to come to grips with the reality of this situation and be like, oh my god, wait, my whole basis is helping people, my whole basis is connecting with people, my whole basis is leaving my mark, changing the world, you know, coming together in this world energy, in this universal energy to do something. And that's usually what you guys are about, bringing people together, making a difference in a huge way. And what you're doing right now is the opposite of what your of the goals, the what is the word I'm looking for? I mean, this is like holding yourself up to a certain goal, holding yourself up to a certain level of respect, of responsibility, of, what is the word I'm looking for? I can't think of it today. Of humanitarianism. And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that you need to go towards a new path here, especially if it's work. It's like, what's going on there? Just give me one last card on that. This feels very intense. Yep. All right. That's really interesting. Yeah, some of you are really holding on to some past stuff here. In terms of, let's talk about love and relationship, and then we're going to talk, like, I'm sorry that this, I feel like my readings, like, for the past few months, I feel like I don't want them to come off as, like, I'm beating you guys into the ground with how this should be and how things need to change, but 8 of Cups reversed, 10 of Bows for love and relationship. You're holding on to something that you need to let go of. When the 10, it was at the 10 of Vessels, it's the 8 of Vessels, which is usually about moving on, rebirth. It's leaving something that you once loved behind to get something more, to look for something that is more emotionally satisfying, fulfilling. And this is somebody that you need to move on from, a person that you need to leave, emotions that you need to leave in the past fully and truly here. And it's time to let something go because it's become a burden to hold on to it. So if you're in a relationship that's not healthy, if you're in a relationship that you know you should have been leaving a long time ago, and that something deep down inside of you is telling you is wrong, it's time to go. If you're holding on to somebody that you know is not going anywhere, and that you've needed to leave them for a while, it's time to do that. And if it's that you're single and you're holding on to somebody, something that you really want to come back in, and it is your ideal relationship, and I almost had it then, and all this stuff, you have to let the past go. You're holding on to this to a point where it has become a huge burden and more of a responsibility for you to carry and carry and carry with you. And it's weighing you down. It's time to move on. You have to let this person go, because you know what? If they're not around now and they're not giving you what you truly need and want, bye. Why did you even hold on to that? There's so many other people in this world. Let's talk about this stuff here. 5 of Wands, 7 of Bows, frustration and clearance. I feel with work, it's a constant cycle of frustration and clearance. You know, oh, I need money, I need to get this done. Okay, well, I'll do this. And then you have money for a second, or you have, you know, relaxing energy for a second, and then you got to go again. There's constant fighting with the Five of Wands and then the Seven of Wands. You're constantly having to prove yourself, you know, come up against other people, and there's a lot of frustration. It feels like no matter how hard you work, you can't quite get there. And when you do feel like you're finally going to get there, you're really just hitting other walls. So there's a lot of frustration there. And yeah, I know Seven of Bows is clearance in this, but it does not always feel that way to me, especially in combination with these cards, because it's in between the Five of Arrows and the Three of Swords, frustration. Three of Swords is there. There's heartbreak. There is realizing where you have, you know, maybe even put these arrows into your own heart here. Why are you hurting? It feels like your heart is on fire and that someone has stabbed it. And again, this talks to me as if you, and I know this came up last month, I'm kind of remembering it, that there was somebody in your love life last month that you needed to leave and that they were lying and you needed to step away from them. And if that hasn't happened yet, it's definitely going to be happening this month, and you're going to be hurting because of that for sure, especially when you get the Five of Cups after it and the Mirror reversed, which is both unwillingness to look at the truth. The Mirror is, you're going to look at, I'm going to actually look at the Mirror. Five of Cups, you know, it doesn't look bad, it's ecstasy, but Five of Cups is truly about moving on and moving forward into ecstasy. So this is more where you need to go. You need to let go of the past and start focusing on the cups that are there. She's alone in this. She's not mourning anybody else. She's past that. She's going to start celebrating what she has, what she's learned, and where she can now take this, the stability that she does have on the other side of this. The Mirror is here, and it's also reversed about that Three of Swords. And I gotta take a look at this myself for a while, because I don't think this has actually come up in another reading. And I want to say it's, I don't want to say it's the Hangman because I'm not sure if it's supposed to be the Hangman, but it is card 12. But she has her eyes closed. She's not even actually looking in the mirror here. I'm going to hold her upright even though she was reversed. She's beautiful, you know, it looks like a mermaid here. And there's this heron, it looks like, and he's got something tied around his neck. And he's looking into the water. And as he's looking into the water, she should be looking at this mirror in her hands, or, you know, as she's holding up this big, you know, bright ball, but she's not. She's not looking at anything. She has her eyes closed to the world. So it's not really looking with, you know, at the light, at who's, you know, floating over there, at what needed to die, what needs to be let go of, because he's still tethered. And this person definitely looks dead. So I would say there's some time for you to let go of something, time for you to untether some baggage, and to open your eyes and really look in the mirror and, like, have these darknesses highlighted, having your shadow self highlighted so that you can really see how you need to change and move forward, the truth of some situation here. It's needing to really look at yourself and really look at where you're at and how it really makes you happy versus how it doesn't. Are you living your truth, or are you living somebody else's? There's jealousy again, like I said, and jealousy will only drive you to hurt yourself. If you continue to start, you know, trying to build yourself up in the image of somebody else, if you're jealous of somebody else's success and you make it your goal to get that and be better than them and do this and do that, and I'm going to do it like they did it, it's not going to feed you. It's not going to put money on the table, food in your belly. And even if it does, it won't be fulfilling because it's not you. You're living somebody else's truth in life. So it's really time to start looking at who you are and where you want to be going, and how jealousy plays into this whole struggle to get something that really, it's like your goal needs to be totally reevaluated. Let's see where we're at by the end of the month here. Queen of Vessels is upright, and then the Journey is reversed. The Journey is the Death card. Queen of Vessels is very nice. It's loving, it's open, it's more involved in your intuition. So I would say your advice this month is to get involved in your intuition, feel your way through things. Your feelings do not lie. Mentally, as you know, fixed air, you can work your mental way out of this and put responsibility here, there, everywhere, but you cannot lie to your feelings, to your emotions, to that push inside you from your higher self that something isn't right and that something needs to change. And when the Journey here is reversed, you know, this is death, so it's stagnation and tendency to let things go to the point where they're not helping you anymore, where the changes that need to happen, the endings that need to come through are not happening, and they absolutely must. You must go through this journey. You must really look at what is dead, what has needed to die, what has needed to be released placed here in order to move forward, okay? The journey needs to happen, and when it's reversed, you have paused it or tried to fight it off for as long as you can. But as by the end of this month, you're going to know that major changes need to be happening, because you can't be feeling this and this and this and this all at once and having your energy be this kind of crap. Like, this is just absolute instability. There's a lot of instability this month, and I would say your advice here is to end things that need to be ended fully and completely. One path in life here has been totally hurting you, and it's time for you to realize that. Okay, the Archer, time to aim your arrow in a new direction. Time to pull it back and see what is truly profitable. Maybe ask some people who are supportive and helpful as well. Okay, so this is time for you to make some major changes, okay? And don't, especially when everything is so paused, so strange, it's like this is the time to drop those wands. This is the time to start realizing that you don't owe anybody anything. And you don't have to prove yourself to anybody. You do not have to prove yourself to anybody. You do not have to prove your self-worth, your success, how attractive you are, you know, who you can be to anybody. We all know it, and nobody is asking in the first place, so it's fine. Okay. Focus. Much of what you see in life is an agreement that something is in fact true. To develop power, focus on one aspect of your life. This could be your career, a sport, or some endeavor that you have a passion about. Become an expert. In the process of becoming an expert, you fine-tune your whole being. You collect the important parts of yourself, and you begin to live the life of a warrior. Rid yourself of attitudes that are not essential to your task. Collect your energy and focus your power on wondrous and magical acts. Let the shell of your consciousness rise out of the ocean of your subconscious mind. It's just a matter of focus. And that is the Lynn V. Andrews Power Deck. Let's pull one more. Gosh, it's like every time I sit down to do a video, Scylla like just loses her mind, and I don't understand why this happens. We need to move, guys. Let's see. Stacey DeMarco now. Scrying, intuition. And again, your intuition will help you. Please rely on your intuition this month. It's like you guys have been blocking it. Like, for some of you, it's like you might be really psychic and stuff like that, or, you know, have a good slab of it in you, and you're just blocking it because you know that what you're doing is wrong, and it's not helping you, and it's not putting you anywhere where you wanted to be, but you're going to pretend it is. So it's time to look at scrying, okay? So, should you pull the scrying card, I suggest you try it for starters. It also indicates that you may wish to develop your intuition further and not rely solely on the logical part of your mind for all the answers. True wisdom takes a balance of logic and imagination and intuition for true wisdom. So, Aquarius, those are your messages for this month. Do check out your sun, moon, rising, and Venus as well. Also, guys, again, I am doing a giveaway for this really awesome wire wrap bone ring. So all you have to do is either to enter this is before April 13th, just subscribe. Sorry about that, guys. Scylla is just a lot today. So anyways, like I was saying, we're doing a giveaway up until April 13th. All you have to do is watch a video and, so, you know, share the video on social media, send me a screenshot to my email, and you're in. And again, you can do this all the way up until April 13th. And again, the prize is a wire wrap bone ring, some stones from me, and a specially made spell sachet by me to you. You can also book a reading, and that will also enter you. But again, all you have to do is share a video on social media, screenshot it, and email it to me before April 13th. All my videos right now are 20% off. Up until, I mean, I guess this whole COVID-19 stuff, you know, gets better. I just wanted to be able to offer you guys stuff at discounted prices to be able to help people, even though, you know, you might not have as much money right now. Also, if you guys are interested in getting your astrology charts and stuff, and I know that that's really helpful, and as an I'm not an astrologer, so I can't specifically do charts for you guys. There's so many websites and stuff, and I've used a bunch of them, but Truly Divine is definitely the best I've ever used, and I've gotten them done from people as well as websites, and they are so comprehensive, so in-depth with their compatibility reports, as well as their astrology, natal charts, and their numerology. I was just blown away. So again, use the code Deku30 that's in my description box. You can also share it with friends, family, and you can use it for multiple different times that you want to get charts, etc. So use that code in the description box. I have never been more impressed with an astrology service in my whole life, so definitely check them out. They're really amazing. Anyways, have a wonderful and blessed month, Aquarius, and I'll see you in May and in the weeklies and dailies. All right, check me out over on Instagram too if you haven't. And have a blessed April. Namaste.